distribute this.
Am I cutting into your...
Oh, yeah, you got to have to turn on the screen, sorry.
It's just, can I move it that way? Maybe? That's good. You put it back here, and then I can't read it, you see. Did you send us? Did you send me this?
No, I haven't. I will distribute that. Or do you want me to do it now? I can do it now.
Yes, we do, because then I can make a big version that I can read. I think he's getting the point.
Yes. Again, I appreciate the subtlety.
Sledgehammer subtlety.
Yeah, that's right. Of course, it's all being recorded on 2 cameras, 2 voices.
Just in case, that'd be a backup. In case you forget, we'll replay it during while you're sleeping.
Probably if I were here also.
So
How's the
it's
USB
not
key?
working.
You have
There's
a USB
FIU
key?
Secure too.
Yeah, let me copy it for
You have a USB key?
Nothing's happening. Oh, can display web page.
Yeah. And this should pop up automatically and it's not.
So what have they done? Change the standard again?
I have no idea.
We had to
Mine
get
was
our...
working.
Huh?
Mine was working.
Did you actually get something?
Yeah.
Oh, you can use that. Do you want to use
You
that?
want,
Mine is just not.
if you want me to
I put it on, let me
give me a key and I'll send it?
Yeah, I'll just stop it. I actually have it, it's
Let me
buried
see.
in one of the directories and nobody's defined. I'll get to it, I just copy it.
Oh, I see what's going on here. Hang on, let me see if I could distort. Because before, you have to go through UTS something or other. Login.
Ready to fight?
Well, no.
Is there even the thing?
There's a reason they call it the hot seat. Do you have one there, David? Let me try to see whether you're...
key?
Yeah, mine's just...
Okay. And you buy this one separate.
This is from Kenneth?
Yeah. Yes.
My daughter.
Huh?
My daughter.
On
Radio show.
online?
Just the one.
Yes, just-
Radio show.
Just
The one
one
mini
time
bus.
Henry,
Radio,
just
right?
one time in Henry minibus.
It's longer, right? You can-
Sure. Just like this.
That's it?
Yep.
I just haven't gotten accustomed to the 2007 version.
Oh, you got it, huh?
Yeah, I'm sorry, I have it.
no.
I just...
I don't even want to look.
Yeah, I don't want to change anything.
Until I'm forced.
Yeah.
Right, when I finish this stuff, then...
Oh, you mean the changing the emails?
Yeah.
No, the
yeah.
Microsoft Office, the 2007
New
version,
one.
nothing is the same.
Any
All
upgrades?
the control functions and
I tell my
menu.
students, I won't accept if you send me a docx or PPX, and this applies to you guys too.
You just not accept.
Right.
Well, I mean,
It's a pain.
because
Nothing's the same.
the Mac version is not compatible with that.
Right.
So I'm going to switch my computer. Do I have to go over to? I can simulate.
Yeah, but
I can simulate Windows. I mean, I have to simulate Windows to read your emails? No.
No.
That's not. I'm not going to switch over to proprietary standard just because Microsoft wants to make money.
I agree.
No.
And as I said, it's an ideology, not merely.
It's a feature, not a bug. Yeah, right. Yeah, right.
All upgrades are frozen
Yeah.
until...
Yeah,
I
I
saw
mean,
there was a,
the world has now accepted doc is an open standard, all right?
Yeah.
So now that it's an open standard, of course, they want to
They want to
change
change
it.
it, right.
Okay. Do you remember, there's supposed to be some standard password to get into FIU Air?
Yes, your
Your
email
email.
password.
Your
It's
email. Same with
login.
your email.
So whatever your email, user ID and password are, those are what you use.
That's the first one I tried, but of course it didn't work. No, it works, all right.
We haven't tried to get it. Shall I?
That's it, go ahead.
Okay. What I am presenting here is, let me start by telling you what it's not. It's not my dress rehearsal. Ron had asked me to focus on just my results chapter and discuss the findings and theoretical contributions. So that's all that's here. I do make reference to a lot of the other material that I have in my dissertation, but only to the extent that I need to do that to talk about the findings and the theoretical contributions. So that's the focus of what you'll see here. I'm still using the same research model, where what I'm doing is I'm using the repertory grid interviews to analyze different types of identity documents to identify the characteristics that seem to make those documents credible. Then I get the experts to rate these characteristics to develop a composite or towards the development of a composite credibility index for each document type. And actually this third piece of it, and the reason it's in dotted lines on the picture here, is that that's for the future. Okay, so that's where this research is for.
Where is the future research? Yes?
The dotted line, the developing the
because those
that
are
part
like
3, this what's described as part 3.
Oh yeah, see, I
And the
think
dotted
yeah.
lines, that's for future research.
But even the credibility index, or is that part of your current?
I'm getting towards that, and you'll see that when I talk about my theoretical contribution. But the purpose of this dissertation, really, the focus is the development of these characteristics that make identity documents credible.
Right,
That's
right.
really where the focus of this dissertation is.
Sorry, could you remind me the title of the dissertation?
The title of the dissertation is no, you asked me when the draw blank.
What's it about?
Yeah, what's it's about using credibility as a metric for identity, for fraud potential in identity documents.
Using
Credibility as a metric for identity fraud potential.
for identifying,
Identity fraud potential.
but for identifying or
Can you say that more
identify
clearly?
it or
Sure, okay.
to what?
Specifically what I have is document credibility as a metric for potential identity fraud. So I'm looking at the credibility of identity documents and claiming that if you can measure this credibility, then you can use that measurement in turn to predict the potential for identity fraud.
Right, to predict the potential
Mhm.
of identity fraud.
Right.
Can you say it, no, say it again,
Sure.
more compactly? What,
The title, I think, what is the title?
Yeah, the title
if
is-
I'm describing your research to somebody else, in a couple sentences, what am I saying?
My research is about, actually, I'm glad you asked that question. My research has two goals. The first is to answer the question, what is it that makes identity documents credible?
That's what I was looking for.
And the second, and this is slide 3, the second is to determine whether those attributes represent valid metrics for evaluating the potential for identity fraud. That's what my research is about, answering those two questions. What makes identity documents credible? And these attributes represent good metrics to evaluate the potential of driving control.
Does it make sense to add the word perceived in there?